stress is controlling what waste leaves your body right now. Most people think detox just means juice or sauna time. But there is a far deeper system at work: your immune clearance mechanism. When you are chronically stressed, that sympathetic overdrive acts like sludge in the lymphatic pump. It jams everything up and fuels low-grade inflammation everywhere. The secret to improving this peripheral flow is not diet alone. It is actively shifting your autonomic tone. We need deep parasympathetic activation. Think of vagal modulation as hitting the brake on fight or flight, allowing your body's internal plumbing system to flush out systemic junk and regulate tissue health from the inside out. This is where advanced HRV biofeedback meets forgotten circulatory science. When we talk about peripheral clearance, it is not just a plumbing issue. We are talking about immune surveillance on the micro level. Chronic sympathetic dominance does not just slow lymph flow. Studies show that sustained stress elevates inflammatory cytokines like TNF and IL-6 in tissue fluid, actively inhibiting lymphatic pumps themselves. Imagine trying to push mud through a drain while it is already clogged with static electricity. Activating deep parasympathetic tone changes the local bioelectric environment of those tissues, allowing efficient waste removal. This shifts clearance from an inhibited process back into its optimal physiological mode based on autonomic balance. This leads us into something nobody really expected for detoxification itself. The process of clearing toxins is not just about cellular waste. It is also about stress baggage stored physically in your tissues. Chronic sympathetic overdrive traps deep emotional patterns right there at a somatic level. We are talking unresolved responses that stay locked inside the body, constantly raising allostatic load. When you activate parasympathetic tone through vagal inputs, you initiate biological reprocessing of those trapped stresses. It helps downregulate the ingrained hypervigilance associated with chronic stress. This means your lymphatic system is doing more than just flushing debris. It is helping rewrite the tissue's energetic blueprint. But what happens when that deep state shifts from cellular clearance to genuine nervous system repair? You will not believe how much faster recovery accelerates. The body's repair mechanisms are far more sensitive to your nervous system state than you realize. That deeper autonomic shift we discussed does not just clear debris. It fundamentally changes how cells produce energy. When that parasympathetic brake engages effectively, the microenvironment optimizes metabolic function itself. Think of it like turning a sluggish engine into its peak efficiency cycle using biological timing rather than brute force fuel injection. But does this mean vagal activation is universally good for metabolism? Some researchers argue these shifts are too localized to impact systemic energetics broadly speaking. That is where things get wild, because the data suggests we might be looking at an endocrine-level reset driven entirely by nerve tone variability. And if that is true, then controlling your HRV is not just about feeling calmer. It is literally tuning your metabolic output rate for optimal health longevity. If tuning metabolic output is one thing, controlling systemic inflammation is another level entirely. We are moving beyond clearance and into active immune governance. When that vagal brake engages fully, it does not just promote lymphatic flow. Studies show it recalibrates how your body handles danger signals at a molecular level. Think of chronic stress as constantly turning up the internal alarm siren, causing tissues to leak inflammatory molecules. Activating parasympathetic tone effectively lowers this systemic static noise. It actively reduces markers like IL-1 beta and C-reactive protein. But here is the wild part. That reduction in inflammation is not just passive settling down. The vagal nerve does not simply turn off the alarm system. It sends a targeted signal back to suppress specific immune response pathways, specifically regulating how those inflammatory signals actually cascade downstream. What exactly does that upstream suppression do for your body's ability to defend itself? What if that upstream suppression does something even stranger? Instead of just reducing immediate threats, this regulation shifts your immune system from a reactive defense mode to an active predictive state. Think about it like moving beyond constantly fighting small fires. You are upgrading the entire fire alarm system to anticipate where the next danger might strike. Vagal modulation is essentially fine-tuning biological prediction algorithms at the tissue level. We are not just lowering markers of stress, we are optimizing systemic resource allocation so that your body does not waste energy on unnecessary alarms or ineffective attacks. The evidence points toward a deep connection between vagal coherence and improving immune response efficiency, a system becoming fundamentally smarter about its own defense protocols. The skepticism around these claims is understandable. People hear vagal detox and they assume it is a simple flush of impurities, a plumbing metaphor that fails at scale. But we have to shift the frame entirely. What happens when you optimize this peripheral system is not just debris clearing. It involves profound biological reorganization. Imagine your body tissues not as static containers, but like tightly wound springs storing kinetic stress patterns. When parasympathetic tone engages fully, the process initiates a structural relaxation of those trapped energetic holds. This is where lymphatic clearance meets deep somatic repair. It means that the mechanism we establish for flushing waste actually facilitates the dissolution of physicalized emotional burden, a systemic recalibration from the inside out. But this suggests something even more critical. What if your entire internal environment is just one cell away from catastrophic failure? So we have moved from cellular clearance to deep biological reorganization. What does all of this mean for you right now? It means that your state of nervous system balance is not just a psychological variable. It is an engine regulator. If the body is designed by its electrical signals, then actively tuning those vagal inputs gives you unprecedented control over peripheral health and immune efficiency. The actionable verdict here is simple. Prioritize coherence training not as meditation time, but as systemic maintenance engineering. Start with controlled breathing to activate that parasympathetic brake daily. It is the ultimate metabolic and immunological reset button for your body's deep architecture. This is not a quick fix. It is foundational biological upkeep. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. The ultimate message here is this. We are not just trying to reduce symptoms. We are recalibrating the operating system of your biology itself. Think about it like moving from running an antique steam engine with constant friction and waste buildup to tuning a modern hyper-efficient electrical generator. It is not enough to pump harder. You must optimize the circuit flow, which is what nervous system balance achieves at every tissue level. This systemic efficiency translates directly into biological resilience against unpredictable stressors. You gain agency over your own foundational state of being. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.